piece. So the first thing that you'll need to do is you'll need to visit your integrations. This is in your admin hub, so you'll see your integrations tab there. You'll scroll down, you'll find the Avalara connector, and you'll just hit create to create a new connection. And then you go to the next slide. I can show you what that looks like. And then from here, you want to follow the documentation instructions, of course, that we'll provide you, but you'll fill out some information related to your Avalara account, your company information, hit save, and your connection is successful. I'll move on to the next slide. And then you can set your tax categories here. Again, if there's any other confusion around what codes you should be setting up here, the default code that you're showing right there, that D whatever, that's a code that Avalara uses directly to apply the tax logic based off of the customer's address, where they're located, and what service you're using, right? So what service are you selling? So once we have this piece defined, if we go on to the next slide, we'll be able to see our products. So E3, very common CSP product that we're probably all selling. We can define the category that's applied to the product, and all subscriptions related to the product will be subject to this tax logic. Now the magic begins once we apply the tax rules to a specific customer. So if we go on to the next slide. So address validation, also called AVS, for those of you who are familiar with that, is available through the Work365 dropdown. And you can actually ensure the address is in the proper format, it's real, and it's ready to be sent to Avalara before the tax logic is applied, so you can determine that that is good to go. For anybody who has been handling this, you know that you'd want to verify that before sending that to Avalara, and that you have the right address, because humans are human. Humans are going to make errors, and we just want to make sure that that's accurate. Once the address is verified.
Kayla, can I jump in for 1 second? I think it's really important. Part of the Avalara tax calculation is that validation. And the reason why that's so important is because we're actually transposing that to longitude, latitude on the back end, so that we can be pinpoint accurate on those tax rates, so that we can guarantee our tax calculation. So that is one of the things that is a differentiator with this partnership and Avalara, is you are getting an accuracy guarantee on your rates.
Right, which is to your point, Michelle, why you say that rates can change from buildings across the street, right? So we have to get pinpoint accuracy to determine that logic. So this part, like I said, is very important. So once we have that part defined, the last thing you'll want to do is to make sure that the AvaTax module is selected in the tax service. And once that's set up, you're done configuring your tax. You've got your configuration, your setup, your rules, and you're now applying taxes. So that's really all there is to it. Once you set up the configuration, again, it's just defining those codes, applying it to the proper products, verifying the address, and then making sure the tax service is selected in the contract. So it's pretty easy to add, and again, a lot less maintenance from the user perspective in terms of making sure that all of those tax codes are up to date. All right, and so that's as simple as it is as far as setting it up. I wanted to make sure that we left enough time here to answer any questions that we might have from the audience. I know we've got a healthy mixture of participants from Avalara, from Work365, all across the world. So if you have any questions, now would be a good time to drop them in. And if you have any interest in either of these, you can feel free to contact sales@work365apps.com to get in contact with our sales team. You can follow up with Michelle if you're interested in the Avalara portion. We'll follow up with some additional information and context after the presentation.